Before Choices, my cousins, my brother, and I would make these, well, I wouldn't call them films, but they were videos that told some type of story, but they were very ridiculous. They're not meant to be taken seriously, totally improvised, and normally didn't make that much sense to begin with. But when I started my sophomore year of high school back in 2015, I thought to myself, one day we should make an actual film. One that involved actually writing a script, casting, and more importantly, done in a more serious tone. Little did I know this film would be pretty difficult to make, but more importantly, it would determine my entire future going forward. I was part of the AVID program in my high school, and for one of our assignments, we had to create a personal project that involved creative thinking and collaboration skills. You could write an essay, create a DIY project of some sort, but I saw this as the perfect opportunity to make my first ever dramatic short film. The deadline was in March, so that gave me 2 months to put this whole thing together. Ultimately, a lot was riding on this project, because while I did enjoy making those silly videos with my cousins and brother, CHOiCES would be the ultimate test. For what, you may ask? Well, I'll talk about that later. For now, I'll start from the beginning. I've always seen those PSAs on bullying, smoking, and cyberbullying, so I wanted to draw my take onto it. But rather than just make it a boring, black and white PSA, I wanted to tell mine with a more cinematic look. I started off writing my character Daniel, which took some characteristics of myself. Jack was written primarily for my cousin Julian. He's my right-hand man when it comes to film, since we both share that same passion. He was also the first person I told the project about. Also, if I acted alongside him, it would help ease my nerves since we have acted together in the past. As far as Trevor, his friends, and Mr. Reyes, I didn't know who would play them, so I just wrote dialogue that would fit their characters and hopefully people would be interested. I finished the script, which took me about a week, as well as drew storyboards. Now it was time for me to announce the film, and hopefully get my other cast members and crew together. At the time I only had Instagram, so I also created my Facebook page. I direct messaged everyone I knew and included text that basically read that if anyone was interested, please email me at this new email. And I waited about 2 weeks for a response. Nothing. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty frustrated when I didn't hear from anyone. But I knew I couldn't stop here. I had to keep pushing forward. I eventually heard back from Julian, who I told 2 weeks ago to send me an audition video of him saying this specific line as Jack. And this is what I got.
I noticed how Trevor will be bullying you a lot, and you really haven't done anything about it, so I figured I would give you an extra boost. But like I said, you really need to stand up for yourself.
At this point, me and Julian were the only ones cast in the film, and we would also be the crewmates. But I know I also wanted to be more professional, so I went online and I actually bought some audio gear, and I eventually landed on these. A shotgun microphone called the VidPro XM55. I got this tiny Sony recorder, and instead of getting a boom pole, I actually just got a monopod. I eventually asked my older cousin Adam to play Trevor and my brother to play one of the friends, and they agreed to be part of the film. As for Mr. Reyes, I was originally going to ask my dad to do it, but I thought I really should try to cast someone that's outside of my family, and then it hit me. You see, I was part of my high school's cross country and track and field team, and we had this amazing coach that I thought to myself, maybe he could play Mr. Reyes. So one day after school, I told him what I was doing, and I told him about the role, and he thought it would be a fun thing to do, and that's how I got Mr. Reyes, who, let me just say, I think did a phenomenal job. I mean, despite the fact that he's not an actor, I think he did such an amazing job. We finally started production on CHOiCES in February of 2015. We started filming the scenes that just included me and Julian.
Do I do the real thing or?
Yeah.
Alright, CHOiCES, C9, take one.
Good
Yeah, clap that. Yeah. Choices. Scene 9, take 1, Daniel.
We are rolling and action. Oh wait, car. Damn, car. Rolling. Oh wait, car. Ah.
Scene 5, take 1.
One of my favorite scenes to film was actually the fight scene. I had never choreographed a fight before. What I ended up doing was I ended up writing a separate script for the fight scene, and I ended up just writing down the action of when Trevor throws a punch, when Daniel reacts to that punch. What was interesting is that we didn't know what the weather conditions were going to be on the day we filmed that fight scene. And when we got there, it started to snow these very tiny snowflakes that were just visible enough for the camera to see. So I thought that was like a blessing that we had. It just added that tension and drama to the fight scene that I think really impacted very well. But it was also very cold. I mean, I didn't mind at the time because I was just so amped up and I was just like rolling on the ground. I was like taking my jacket off. I was, getting ready to fight. I was like, I was amped up.
Now, was it good?
And it was finally time that I was able to call rap.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Cool. Alright.
That's a wrap.
Good work. Alright.
Oh, it was.
What's that?
I mean, it was crazy, right?
Yeah? I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product.
Oh yeah.
And once I said that, I felt so relieved, so happy, and I was just filled with so many emotions. It was eventually uploaded to my high school's website, where it still stands today. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that CHOiCES was going to be the ultimate test for me. And I said that because when I was making those videos with my brother and my cousins, I really did think to myself, maybe filmmaking can be my thing. And CHOiCES was really going to be my make it or break it moment. If I had a terrible time making that film and it wasn't well received, then I don't think I'd be where I am today. If it wasn't for CHOiCES, I would not be a filmmaker. Because I had such an amazing time with that film, and everyone was really impressed with how it turned out, that gave me just enough courage for me to say, yes, I am a filmmaker. I guess you could say I made the right choice.